Okay, so the third question is, how do I manage feelings of loneliness?
Yeah, this is definitely kind of a common theme that's been coming up in my work with students since the quarantine, the pandemic started. And so, honestly, this is just a common theme that people experience in general, even before the pandemic started. I think it's just something that it's common for us to feel isolated, even in kind of better times when we're not, in quarantine and facing a global pandemic, and let alone, kind of now that we're having to social distance. And so whether you're quarantined alone or with others, you're likely to experience feelings of loneliness and isolation. Um, but what's, maybe escalating those feelings is this, like, it's mixed with this, feelings of grief. And we'll have another video on grief, as well, specifically on grief. And so when all of these things are kind of combined, we it's a very complicated, a combination of feelings. It's more complicated because we don't know when we might see our friends again, our loved ones again. We're not, having a lot of things canceled and things like that. And so it just goes way beyond just um, kind of general sense of loneliness. And so expect there to be conflicting emotions and really complicated, emotional responses to this. And so at this point, it may be helpful for you to take some time to reflect on what it is that you need from those around you and how to get that support and to stay connected. And, that support can look differently for each person. And so one way to maybe think a little bit about is think back on a time when you felt especially supported by other people. Kind of consider what are some of the things that helped you feel that way. And what are some of the ways in which, given the current circumstances, you can kind of try to reintroduce some of those factors that helped you feel connected, into your current situation. And so, and then I'll talk a little bit about, even if you're quarantined with others, you're not quarantined by yourself, you may still feel that sense of loneliness just because, you can, over time, you can feel like more easily irritated and annoyed by those around you. And so, like, those like feelings of closeness and connection can feel disrupted by that. And then it can be further complicated if the relationship that you're in consists, of emotional and physical abuse. And this can, come out in any kind of relationship, not just with a dating partner. And so in those cases, if you're feeling like the people that you are in relationships with, the people around you in general, are not only not giving the support that you need, but withholding that support and exhibiting kind of controlling behaviors, and making you feel like emotionally and or physically unsafe, this may be a good time for you to reach out to kind of a close friend or someone that you trust, or even kind of reach out to us, to the counseling center, to seek kind of to consult with a therapist about kind of make a plan about next steps. And then there are also other resources, and that I can like link with the video to that, so that you are able to seek support. But in general, when coping with like feelings of loneliness and isolation, really try to get creative about it. Maybe it's a matter of forming a group chat and, exchanging daily memes, or like kind of joining an online forum, or sending letters to each other. And there are also still lots of events and groups happening on campus via Zoom. Try some of those out and see maybe you might like some of those events and things like that. These interventions may seem small, and they're definitely not kind of the same as kind of a lot of the normal like day-to-day in-person interactions, but can still have a big impact to make you feel like connected and feel a sense of belonging. So Sarah, what are some of the ways in which that you have been able to kind of manage some of this?
Yeah, so I go on a walk every day with my neighbor, and it's a very socially distant walk, and we're both pretty isolated where we are. Um, but it's like the one time a day I see somebody besides my family and I make it a point to go with her. It's a completely just different conversation, and we're only gone for probably an hour, but it's something that makes me feel like I'm doing something with another person, which is a great feeling of accomplishment. And then I also make it a point to call one friend or FaceTime them every day. So whether those are friends from high school, I'm an out-of-state student, so it's calling friends back in Seattle who I haven't seen in a while. That's just a great way to stay connected and to feel, I guess, those relationships continue to grow even though we're not in the presence of other people. And actually, my friends send me letters too. Like I get letters all the time and like lookbooks
Oh,
from them. So
so
I've been
sweet.
doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's so great. I'm so glad to hear that you're staying connected in so many different ways. And I hope that those of you who are watching this video, feel inspired to kind of try some of these things out.
Great. Thank you so much.